Someone was live streaming a video from Singapore when they accidentally captured something strange. The video in question shows what appears to be a large circular opening in the sky, with other users saying that they could see lights flying in and out of the opening. This reminded some of the strange sky cities that have been witnessed all around the world. Some users questioned whether the military was carrying out some experiments in the area, or had something to do with the weather. Others said this could have been created by mysterious flying aircrafts, going on to say this is just the latest sighting to be made from a major city, further detailing that in the past few weeks there's been an increase in strange flying objects over major cities. This mysterious phenomenon has been reported in various countries, with users saying that similar formations have been seen above the United States and England. What's interesting is that in the middle of these circles people have said they can see what appears to be lights, describing them as looking like large orbs, being much smaller than a passenger plane, possessing the ability to hover motionless, and also being able to disappear within the blink of an eye. Others went down a different route and suggested that this strange formation could have been created by scientists, with others agreeing by saying that scientists are forever conducting experiments. These strange formations have led some to dig a little deeper, and many were surprised to learn that we have the ability to control the weather. In fact, a patent that was created back in April of 1951 details that US officials were looking at using devices in order to change weather conditions. This isn't a secret either. Scientists and officials have been open about this and its side effects, but have said that it has many positives. In fact, a few months ago an article detailed how researchers in Beijing used cloud seeding to create artificial rain, and said they did this in order to bring around blue skies. The 1951 patent reads as follows. This invention relates to a process for affecting changes in weather conditions, and more specifically to a process for dissipating clouds and fog, by clearing the atmosphere of moisture particles that are large enough to be visible, and yet not large enough to fall out of suspension in the gases of the atmosphere. Generally, the overall object of the present invention is directed to the control of weather conditions. Another object of this invention is to control weather which causes hail damage, lightning and interferences with wave transmissions, by the reduction of water vapor through the dissipation of cumulonimbus clouds. Another object of this invention is the control of weather by dissipating typhoons, hurricanes and other storm centers by the dissipation of the convective clouds forming the weather phenomena. Another object of the present invention is the control of weather causing snow and sleet in heavily populated areas, where large quantities are particularly undesirable because of its effects on traffic conditions. Another object of the present invention is the process of dissipating weather frontal systems, which cause floods due to continuous rains. Another object of the present invention is to provide rain in designated areas, and this is by the use of this weather control process. Another object of the present invention is to provide desirable weather for sport events, and all other outdoor recreational activities which require good weather. In order that there's a complete understanding of this present invention, it will be necessary to explain the cause of certain weather phenomena, and the effect of this practice of the processes in the instant invention weather phenomena. Meteorologically speaking, a cloud is the formation of a body of moisture particles that's been lifted adiabatically, in which they've reached the dew point of the body of air in which they're found. The particle size of the water vapor develops upon condensation, to the point where they become visible to the eye, and yet their particle size is not sufficiently great so as to affect their stability in the atmosphere, by causing them to feel the effects of gravity pulling them out of suspension. This latter effect would cause them to fall in the nature of precipitation out of the atmosphere and onto the earth below. A parcel of air at the surface containing a given moisture content and at a given relative humidity less than 100%, will cause the parcel of air to rise until it reaches the saturation point. At this point, the moisture particles become visible to the eye and form what is commonly known as a cloud. The continuous surface heating causes this cloud to continue to develop in substantial proportions, depending first on the additional amount of surface heating that's given to the air mass, and depending on the moisture content and the stability of the upper air layers. Pressure decreases with increased elevation according to a fixed rate. This is a variable factor, but the decrease is continuous." End quote. As of right now, people are still reporting that these formations are showing up in large cities, and it's anyone's guess as to what they are and how they're being formed. One user said they saw some comments suggesting that they could have been drones, but said that these lights have been observed in the sky for almost an hour, and noted that they don't match the overall description of a drone. On the 11th of March 2011, Japan witnessed the largest earthquake it ever recorded, causing a massive devastation in northeastern Japan. On top of this already dreadful destruction and loss of life, the disaster also gave rise to a nuclear disaster at the Fukushima nuclear plant. On March 16, 2022, experts detected a strong earthquake off the coast of Fukushima. According to those working at the Japanese Meteorological Agency, they said that the earthquake measured 7.4 in magnitude. Reports soon came in that after the earthquake hit, a tsunami hit the region. As of right now, the natural disaster has led to 4 people passing away, along with over 220 people being injured. During all of this, drones were capturing footage for local TV stations, and it was during one of these that a viewer noticed something strange hovering above the area. The user who posted the screenshot said they could see 4 bright lights above Fukushima, saying that the object started in a triangular formation and hovered there motionless above the area. One user translated what some of the people were saying, and others detailed that they also saw lights above Fukushima, adding that they didn't stay around for long, and held the triangular formation for the majority of time they were on screen. Interestingly, what many have found is that during events where areas have been damaged by natural disasters, many locals have reported seeing strange lights in the sky, almost as if they're observing the events play out. What many have come to realize is that government officials are also aware of this, as it appears that government documents have also made the connection between these lights and events where human lives have been at risk. In recent years, it's come to light that numerous government officials and those who work around nuclear sites have observed these lights close to their sites. In fact, in 2021, officials in Japan announced that a lab was opened close to Fukushima that would study these objects, detailing that the research facility will strive to unravel the enigma of these mysterious lights. As of right now, many in the area think these lights are interested in the activity going on at Fukushima, and that they're keeping an eye on what's going on there. Others who've studied these mysterious lights have also said that they've been observed above United States missile launch facilities. As of right now, researchers in the area are trying to get to the bottom of what these lights are, and what they want. In April of 2021, the Japanese government announced that beginning from 2023, more than 1 million tons of water contaminated from the Fukushima disaster would be released into the Pacific Ocean. An estimated 1.25 million tons of water have built up around Fukushima's power plant, and this is since the 2011 disaster. This is largely because the Tokyo Electric Power Company has been adding 200 tons of water into the reactors, and also the power plant site each day, intending to maintain and balance temperatures to stop the few reactor cores that are left from melting too. Now more than 1,000 tanks on the site are filled with contaminated wastewater. While most radioactive material is filtered out, Tritium, a radioactive hydrogen isotope, is not filtered out and is the most dangerous to humans. However, 10 years on from the horrors, this cooling water system is meeting some flaws, as the Tokyo Electric Power Company no longer has the space to store the contaminated waste. The solution decided upon as of 2021 is to release the contaminated water gradually, bit by bit over many years, and this is by putting it into the Pacific Ocean. According to a spokesperson from the US State Department, this plan is, quote, in accordance with globally accepted nuclear safety standards, as many nuclear plants all over the world regularly let small volumes of tritium into the ocean. Some people aren't happy with this solution, however. Many have expressed their concerns that the Tokyo Electric Power Company may not be wholly accurate in their judgment of the water safety. These fears are amplified by a study published in August 2020, which found traces of many other radioactive isotopes in the Fukushima wastewater. Many local fishermen have expressed concern about the fishing industry, and some are concerned for the health of the wildlife. The impact of the nuclear accidents is colossal. Of course, the first concerns for most people are regarding any humans, from injuries to illnesses, and unfortunately even fatalities. And while there are many factors to consider, economic, social, and even how the political climate can be altered, perhaps one of the next most important aspects to consider is looking at the damage to the area. So as humans fled the area, the blissfully ignorant wildlife stayed put. Birds, snakes, all sorts of creatures alike, and of course flowers, trees, and even the soil, are all left to be contaminated. Scientists have now begun to ask, as the flora and fauna are left in this radiation zone, can they help us find out about how the environment has been impacted in the long term? The use of animals to monitor such a dangerous climate may seem cruel and unjust, though the truth is we use animals as bioindicators all the time. A bioindicator simply meaning a living thing whose health can give us these ever so valuable insights. Frogs, for example, have permeable skin, and are largely unable to detoxify, and are therefore monitored as a bioindicator for environmental pollution. Now, these scientists are not planning on sending animals blindly into these nuclear zones and hoping for the best. Much more ethically, they've chosen to study animals that are already within Fukushima, specifically rat snakes. Hannah Gurk, the lead author of the study, explained that snakes were a good choice of bioindicators due to their limited movement and their overall tendency to confine themselves to one local area. Other animals, for example birds, move around too much, hindering the experiment. Overall, we can only hope for a sustainable, long-term, safe solution to this problem. So what do you make of these interesting photographs? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.